All right, welcome everyone. Today we are going to dive deep and talk a little bit more within our human design series. We're going to talk about the manifesting generator energy type. So the last video I recorded, if you go back, we talked about the generator energy type. Today we're going to talk about the manifesting generator energy type, which is similar but quite different or unique, and each energy type is unique on its own. But today we're going to dive into kind of that other energy type, also has those generator qualities and tendencies to it, but some other unique qualities as well. So manifesting generators, what makes you a manifesting generator? So typically, if you go in, there's lots of software online where you can go in, you can plug in your birth date, and it will kind of generate a chart for you that tells you exactly like what your human design energy type is. So you're either like the generator, manifestor, projector, reflector. So what does that mean? So if you are a manifesting generator, you make up about 33% of the world's population. So typically, most energy types are either generators, like pure generators, or manifesting generators. So if you combine both of those energy types together, like generators and MGs make up about 67 to 70% of the world's population, depending on the source that you quote. So 33% are manifesting generators, and a manifesting generator is a hybrid of two different energy types. So that is a combination of, you have generator tendencies, you have that generator energy, but then you also can tap into manifesting energy of the manifester. So you're kind of a hybrid of these two energy types. Depending on the source that you refer to, some people will just classify all manifesting generators and just consider them generators. And I think for me personally, I think there's enough differentiation between a manifesting generator and a pure generator that we each kind of deserve our own category or our own energy type to be focused on, if that makes sense. Because I feel like myself as a generator, I'm completely wired differently than somebody else who is a manifesting generator. And my approach to the world is completely different than somebody who is a manifesting generator. So you might see different thoughts on that. Some people prefer to keep them separate. Some experts will just lump everybody and say, nope, manifesting generators, they're just generators. I don't believe that. I believe there's enough distinct characteristics or just a difference in the design that manifesting generators deserve to have like their own like category with it as an energy type. So what makes you an manifesting generator is that you do have your sacral center defined. So this is kind of that main sacral center. I did a previous overview of all of the energy types in a previous video where I did screen share and go through a lot of each of the energy types and talked about the different energy centers. So if you wanted to kind of get a visual on that without having to pull up any software, you can go back and watch that video. And so that sacral center is defined, and that is like your life force energy center. And so if you have that center defined, you're either a manifesting generator or a generator. The difference between a generator and a manifesting generator are just the connections or the channels that are activated on your chart. So a manifesting generator will have the sacral center defined, but then they will also have one of the 4 motor centers connected to the throat center. So the motor centers are either your root center, your sacral center, your solar plexus, or your heart center. Those are the 4 motor centers of the body. Now, if you have your sacral center is the center, excuse me, that is connected directly to the throat center, then you have more manifesting tendencies that excuse me, than than somebody that has like a heart center connected to the throat center. So that's kind of something to kind of consider. So the way they divide that out is, if you have let's say you have your solar plexus connected to your throat center, you're still a manifesting generator, but you're going to tend to gear a lot of your strategy towards being a generator. You're going to follow that a little bit more strongly. First, you will have manifestor tendencies and you have the ability to tap into that manifestor energy. But if you have your sacral center connected directly to your throat center, you're going to be able to skew, your energy is going to be a little bit more skewed towards the manifestor. So, but again, you still have that sacral center, so you still have to honor your body and honor that authority if that's one of your main authorities in your body. If you don't have the emotional authority, you have to honor that sacral authority, but also be aware that if you have that direct connection, you're going to be able to tap into that manifesting energy a lot more. In your chart, you're going to probably you might identify a little bit more strongly with being a manifester versus a manifesting generator or generator. So just kind of a couple of pieces of wisdom if you're kind of wondering the difference between those two. So that is a little bit about what makes you a manifester. So the manifesting generator strategy, it's a little bit of a hybrid. So the generator strategy is to respond. So your sacral center as a generator, as that generator piece to your design, is always responding yes or no to things at a gut level. Like and it's not just, you're not sitting waiting for people to bring you things to respond. You're not waiting for things to happen for you to respond to. As you go through your day, your gut at sacral level is going to be responding yes or no to things. You're going to see things that cross your path just on a day-to-day that you're going to get a little ping in your sacral center. And sometimes it's something that's going to light you up. And if you kind of get those pings of like, you know, that sense of like that yes, or that something makes you curious or something makes you light up, that's where you can get curious about things. And that's where you can explore to respond to the things that cross your path that are more of a yes, or they light you up a little bit, even if it's a butterfly and you're outside. I mean, that's just something to get curious about, but that's how you respond. You're always responding. So that's that to respond strategy of the generator. But you also, depending on the connections that you have in your chart and the channels that you have in your chart, you also can tap into the manifestor energy, and that is to inform. So when you inform, that's just a matter of you likely have these ideas, you likely are able to act a little bit more in the spur of the moment. And these ideas that kind of come to you, the manifestor energy, you're able to put that out there and to kind of start talking to people about these things that you are excited about and that you are wanting to work on. And that informer piece of it, when you put that out there and you inform others, it's the same way that manifestors do, others can respond to you. So other energy types can respond to you, and you kind of initiate that response by informing others of the things that you're excited about, the things that you want to work on. And then that kind of brings to you maybe the support, maybe the people that are on board with that. You know, maybe you're starting a new project, so maybe you're pulling people in that can help you with that, or they can give you resources to that. Like, so that is how that inform piece works on that manifestor side of things. So you have those two sides to you. So, but remember, if your connection is more towards the generator aspect of your energy, you're likely going to do more of the responding, and you can tap into that informing piece of it, like with the things that light you up or with the things that you're working on. It just might not be as consistent as somebody who has that direct line from their sacral to their throat center. So with this, even still with being a manifesting generator, you still have this high energy aura, this powerful aura that brings things to you. You still have that life force energy. So you are still at your core meant to respond to things that light you up and pour your energy and do projects, do things in your day-to-day that light you up, that bring you joy. Because when you pour your energy and you do work that lights you up, your sacral center creates more life force energy that actually fuels other energy types that don't have that sacral center defined. So you're creating this life force energy for the projectors, the manifestors, and the reflectors of the world. So you want to be able to produce this life force energy. That is your gift as that piece of you being a generator. The other thing too is that when you're putting that energy out there, you're also, as a generator, designed to use your energy. So we have this huge source of energy, this powerful source of energy, this renewable source of energy that just we're meant to use it up on things that light us up every day. So what that means is, just as you go through your day and as you are working on things for in your day to day, making sure you're pouring that energy into things that light you up, and then honoring how your body is feeling. So like working on things to the extent that you feel lit up to work on things, and stepping away and taking breaks as you feel called or as it feels more aligned to you, and not trying to force things. The other thing is, with the manifesting generator, so you also keep in mind that you're not linear. So a lot of generators, generators will have more of an ability to find something that lights them up and then see that project to completion. I know I am one of those. And I don't always pick one thing that lights me up to work on at one time. Sometimes I'll pick multiple projects, but I tend to, on the ones that are really truly meant for me, I will see them a lot more often through to completion. As a manifesting generator, you might feel more of a tendency to want to jump from thing to thing to thing, because you are getting more inspiration, you're getting more insight, maybe you're getting more downloads, and you've got more ideas. So the trick is for you to also honor being a generator and working on the things that light you up, so that you're creating that life force energy, but also not trying to work through to the end of things just because you feel like you have to. Honoring the fact that this project no longer lights me up, so I'm going to move on. I'm going to put it aside for now, and that's okay. It's okay. It's kind of giving yourself that permission. It's okay to move from one thing to the next, and only work to completion on those things that really light you up, and that are that you're able to stick with for the long haul. And it might not be that often that you have one thing or another that you can see through to completion, and that's okay. You aren't necessarily designed like that. You are designed to kind of pull different ideas into the world and maybe get started. And maybe on that manifesting side of things, that's where you start to pull things and bring them into existence through your manifesting tendencies and energy. And then you, as a result of that, you have the people within your environment that can support you. So maybe there's a balance of figuring out what you can do from your generator energy. And once things don't light you up anymore, do you have the support around you so that others can kind of help see those things to completion? Or are those things no longer in alignment with you? And giving yourself permission that any one of those options is okay. So the thing is when you are responding correctly, when you're living life in your strategy, which is to respond or to inform, depending on however you're wired, where your energy is at, but typically leaning into that generator energy, you're responding to things that light you up. You're pulling in and informing on things that light you up about what you're working on. So you have the ability to express, to communicate, and to manifest things into existence that you're working on to others. If you're living correctly, you will feel that sense of like satisfaction for being a generator, and then peace on the side of being a manifester. So those are the kind of signs that you're living your life by design and in alignment. If, however, you're trying to force things through to completion, maybe you're saying yes to things that don't light you up because you feel like you should. Maybe you're, even if you're struggling with boundaries a little bit, and you're just not saying no to people, and you're trying to people please still a little bit. A lot of us do that. If you're choosing to respond incorrectly, and you're choosing to pick up work that doesn't light you up, you're choosing to do things that just aren't in alignment with you, you're going to feel from the generator side of you that frustration. So generators, if we don't follow that strategy, we feel frustrated. The manifester in you also is going to come through. And if you feel like you're saying yes to things, but then you also feel like you either have to see things through to completion, you're feeling like you aren't allowing yourself to move from one idea to the next. You're feeling like you're boxed in. You're making these, and this all comes from how you're responding. So if you're saying yes to opportunities like that, let's say partnerships or projects that you kind of were like meh on a little bit, like you weren't 100% on board, but you just went ahead and did it anyways because maybe the person is a friend, maybe you didn't want to let them down, maybe you just needed the income right now. It's just one of those things where you know deep down that it wasn't super in alignment with you. You're gonna have these feelings of like, so you're going to have the feelings of frustration from your generator side, but then you're also going to have these little feelings of anger and a little bit of resentment because you're kind of in this space where you're feeling a little boxed in and you're not doing the work that lights you up. So then this is kind of throwing you out of alignment. So if you're starting to feel any of these things as a manifesting generator, those are signs that you are living a little bit out of your alignment, and it's time to kind of look like take things a step back and tune into your body and start to listen to that sacral response, or listen to respond in a way that you know that saying yes to this is going to light me up. Saying no to this is also going to light me up because I don't have to do that and I don't want to do that. So making sure that you're responding correctly, but you're also allowing that manifestor piece side of you to also be a part of your day to day. Pick up and do those ideas as they come through. You know, put things on hold as they need to be put on hold. Only see things through to completion that light you up. And then as from the manifesting energy, informing other people, communicating what you're working on, telling them about what you're working on, especially the things that light you up. If you're working on those things that light you up only, making sure you're communicating that to the outside world and you're putting that out there, because as you talk to other people, as you communicate to other people, you might pull in people that are interested in helping you, supporting you, or giving you more of the right resources to help you make those desires a reality in your life. So I hope this was helpful. If you guys have other questions on the manifesting generator, please feel free to drop them below. And I will put a link below for a free guide. It's called the HD Marketing Archetype. So I talk a lot about human design. And I love talking to other people about their design and kind of looking and seeing the different patterns and how. So the manifesting generator does not show up the same. Just because you're a manifesting generator, it's not going to show up the same from one person to the next. We all have a unique blueprint and how we were designed. And there's so many other deeper factors that go into that. But specifically, I love pulling it back and bringing it back to the mission you have as an entrepreneur, the business that you're running, the decisions that you're making, and making sure that you are waking up every day excited, living your life in alignment, and doing the work that lights you up through your business so that you can make an impact and change the lives of other people. So I'm going to drop it below in the comments. There is a free HD Marketing Archetypes guide. So this talks about, if you don't already know your human design energy type, it will show you how to pull your own chart, figure out what your energy type is. But then also I'm blending in the marketing archetype method. So the marketing archetype method is something that I created, and it's basically a look at the different marketing archetypes and how those archetypes blend with the different human design energy types, so that as you're growing your business, as you're trying to figure out what type of marketing works the best for you, you pull in your design and the different archetypes to figure out and create just a marketing blueprint that works for you based on your unique design. So I will drop that below. And again, if you have any other questions or comments, please feel free to leave those, and I will be back next week with a new video. All right. Bye, everybody.